Bach of Thompson Valley. She is a junior. In lane number 3 will be Morgan Craig, a sophomore from Denver South. In lane 4 is Kelsey Odinger, a junior from Discovery Canyon. Casey Richards, a senior from Mountain View, is in lane 5. Kelsey Gerson of Aspen is a sophomore and is in lane 6. Elena Gossett, a junior from Broomfield, is in lane 7. Nicole May, a sophomore from Arvada, is in lane 8. And rounding out the field in the consolation finals is Brittany Whittam, a senior from Mountain View. And we found out quite a bit last night in all 4 of our preliminary heats that the leader through 3 and 4 laps doesn't necessarily mean they'll be the winner. There are some swimmers who have the stamina and speed to lead wire to wire, but that rarely happens. Usually it's the one that will calm their emotions down, slow down the release of adrenaline, and just pace themselves and make a late run and try to win a state championship, or in this case, a consolation championship. Again, there are team managers on the far side of the pool holding up signs with the number of trips they have taken on this race so they don't lose track, because these swimmers have a one-track mind. Just pace themselves and swim back and forth. It's their manager's job, their teammates' job to show them how far in they are. We're about a quarter of the way into this race. Your leader right now in lane number 5 is Casey Richards of Mountain View High School. In second place in lane number 7 is Elena Gossett of Broomfield. Top 2 swimmers. Reminder that if you missed any of tonight's broadcast or last night's broadcast or this morning's broadcast, they are available to watch again on demand through CHSAA.tv. So just because you have a relative that maybe missed out on a couple of events, they'll be able to watch it again, as will you, through CHSAA.tv. DVDs can also be ordered of the 4A state championships. On the top of CHSAA TV, there is a direct link to buy DVDs. From prepfilms.com is where you can get those DVDs. So, chance for you to watch your daughter, niece, sister, cousin, or just neighbor in the 4A State Swimming and Diving Championships. Little over halfway through this race. It's the same 2 swimmers that are right now leading. In lane 7, it is Elena Gossett. And in lane number 5 is Casey Richards, who actually now has retaken the lead. But give credit to Gossett. Every time she falls behind into second place, she catches back up midway through the pool on the way back. In third place right now in lane 5 is Casey Richards. So Richards is in first in lane 5. Gerson is in third in lane 6, and Gossett in second place in lane number 7. So the top 3 swimmers in this 500-yard freestyle field are setting the pace for the rest of the field here. Again, Richards in first place. Gerson has actually got a slight lead over Elena Gossett. As I just got reminded by the Cheyenne Mountain fans that the gunshot is coming up to wake anybody up that may have been not paying attention here as we come to the last down and back of this event. Right now, Casey Richards is your leader, followed by Kelsey Gerson and Elena Gossett. We'll see who has the most left in the tank here as they turn for the final time. In lane 5, it is Casey Richards, but look at Gerson making a run here late. It's Richards in lane 5, Gerson in lane 6, and it will be Richards followed by Gerson, and in third place is Elena Gossett. So you know how I mentioned that wire-to-wire wins rarely happen? Well, this is one of those rare occurrences as Casey Richards from Mountain View High School led pretty much throughout, and she will win the consolation finals. Again, in second place is Kelsey Gerson of Aspen, and in third place, Elena Gossett of Broomfield. So now entering the pool area are your finalists, your championship finalists. Here in the 500-yard freestyle. In lane 2 will be Madison Evans, a junior from Windsor. In lane number 3, Brenna Bushy, a sophomore from D'Evelyn. In lane number 4 will be the sophomore from Cheyenne Mountain, Morgan Weiss. In lane number 5 will be Lexi Malazdruitz, already a state champion today. She'll try to make it 2 in the individual events here in the 500-yard freestyle. She's a junior from Evergreen. Nicole Havlicek from Thompson Valley is in lane 6. She is a senior. Lane 7 is Cameron Holland, a freshman from Evergreen. Lane 8 is Allie Foth, a junior from Thompson Valley. And rounding out your championship field in the 500-yard freestyle is Jennifer Bells, a sophomore from Mullen High School. And here we go in the championship finals of the 500-yard freestyle. And our longest event of the day in terms of distance. Diving obviously takes a little bit longer in time. Your early leader here in lane 5 is Lexi Malazdruitz. As I mentioned, she was a state champion earlier today in the 200-yard freestyle, so looking for another individual state championship to put in her trophy case. Right next to Malazdruitz is Nicole Havlicek from Thompson Valley. Those are your two swimmers, and they both had dominating wins last night in their preliminary heats, and now they're starting to pull away from the entire field. But just a quarter of the way through this 500-yard race. Looking at the Colorado state record and the 4A state record. Colorado State record is 451.56 in the 500. Yesterday's fastest time was Lexi Malazdrowitz with 5:02.62. 4 minutes and 51 seconds is absolutely flying in a 500-yard freestyle. That was set by Bonnie Brandon of Cherry Creek back in 2010. The 4A state record is not quite as good, but still pretty solid, and it stood since 1998. Brianna Loker of Wheat Ridge with a time of 4:58.74. Again, Malazdrowitz's preliminary time is about 4 seconds slower than that. So certainly with the adrenaline pumping on this stage, Malazdrowitz is not out of the question that Lexi could challenge for the 4A state record. But still quite a ways to go in the race, as now looking at the far side of the pool, and in the middle of the pool, it has become a two-horse race between Malazdrowitz and Havlicek. As they are a half a pool length ahead of everybody else. Seven laps to go for your leaders, as is the case for everyone else, but by the time some of the field gets to finish their 13th lap, Havlicek and Malazdrowitz will already be on their 15th. Just a terrific performance, and now you can see as Malazdrowitz is starting to separate herself, about a body length ahead of Havlicek with 5 laps to go. After this, we get into some speedy swimmers. The 200-yard, we go to the relay first, actually, with a 200 freestyle relay, but then we do a couple of 100-yard events in the backstroke and breaststroke before finishing up with the 400-yard relay. So Malazdrowitz and Havlicek hearing the gun, and it doesn't seem quite as loud at 4 o'clock in the afternoon as it did at about 8 o'clock at night last night. So Malazdrowitz and Havlicek clearly 1 and 2 right now. If you look for a third place, it's a pretty tight race. Leading right now in lane number 2 is Madison Evans. So here comes Lexi Malazdrowitz, wire-to-wire winner by a wide margin, her second individual state championship today. Havlicek should be commended with a solid second-place finish. Now a tight finish for third. It will be Evans and Bushy, and at the end it is Evans edging out Bushy for third place. It got fun at the end. The first 2 spots were never in doubt, but the third place right there.
Here are the team scores of the top 10 teams through 7 events.
And being as prophetic as I tend to be every once in a while, Lexi Malazdrowitz has set a 4A state record with her time of 4:54.65. That will be about 3 seconds off of the state record, but still a 4A state record.